you are just getting into houseplants, pothos are a really good place to start because they are forgiving, they can handle a lot of different lights, don't need a ton of water, and they're easy to propagate. Really fun part about pothos is propagating them. So I'm going to show you to look for areas to propagate over here on our pothos wall. They grow these aerial roots at the nodes, and a node is just where a leaf is coming off of the stem. So that area root wants to, it doesn't need to be in soil. If you've got a branching, hanging pothos and it's got these, don't stress, it's not a big deal. They just do that. But if you want to propagate them, chop behind that leaf, and then you can take this and you can put it in water, watch the roots grow for a while, and then plant it in soil, or you can take it, chop it, maybe dip it in a little bit of cinnamon because cinnamon has some antibacterial properties, and put it in damp soil and it'll start rooting because it's already got those roots. If you cut a piece that doesn't have aerial roots, like back here where they're just kind of knobbies, those will also start to push roots out and grow for you. But they're just really easy to know exactly where to cut and to already see growth when you've gotten started. So I love pothos because they are easy. You don't have to be a beginner to enjoy pothos, but what's great about them is their light requirements are pretty broad. So bright indirect light, which means in a window that has bright sun but no direct hot sun, or up to 6 feet away from a really bright window, or anywhere in a room with a lot of bright windows, they'll do well. Although the closer to a bright window they are, the more growth you're going to see, the happier they're going to be, and the more rewarding growing them will be. If you put them on top of a shelf, kind of like away from a window, and the window's like on the other side of the room, they'll do okay up like that, but they are not going to thrive. This means they're not going to grow very much, which may be okay for you and your purposes. And as far as watering goes, you want to water them well, and then wait until they're almost totally dried out before you water them again. They don't really want to go bone dry. However, if you forget to water them and they do go bone dry, they're pretty forgiving about that. So if you see that it's starting to droop, go ahead and water it, and but you don't want to overwater. So if you watered it 2 days ago, give it a few more days. So my watering trick is when you're not sure if it needs watered or not yet, take your finger, put it in the soil about an inch, and if it feels damp at all, wait a few more days. If it's dry all the way to the middle of the pot where my finger's at, then it's time to water. So that's pothos. Easy beginner plant, or a great plant for somebody who's busy or doesn't want to fuss with more difficult plants.